Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another Midnight Review. And tonight we saw Thor Ragnarok. Of course, I didn't say I was going to wear, my little beanie from my Marvel Collector Corps box. And I did, of course, I wore my Hulk shirt too as well. Because Gladiator Hulk is awesome, of course. But yeah, so let's get right into it. Is this movie worth your dollar? Which, for me, was about 18. um, Definitely, it's fun. It takes a lot of cues kind of from like Guardians and like the more lighthearted Marvel movies, and it runs with it. It has a nice tone. It has a different theme, and like I said, the tone is just really great. It fits it so well compared to the first. It's more closer to the first movie than the second movie. The second movie was a little bit more, serious. This one's a lot more lighthearted, but still has a lot of serious um, consequences and storylines and everything like that. But overall, it is a great movie. It's fun. It's exciting. It's very visually pleasing. There's lots of action. There's lots of comedy. Lots of comedy. I gotta definitely say. Everyone does a great job. It blends really well. The pacing's done really great. Uh, just really fun overall. Lots of laugh for sure. But nonetheless, let's get down to the nitty gritty as far as actors go. So let me actually start off with the trailer. The trailer's pretty interesting. It actually is not like a lot of movies where they spoil a lot, and it gives you a good sense of what to expect going into this movie. And I think it nailed it, if not undersold it, greatly compared to what you end up watching. And it's really cool to see. I really do like that they actually did. They didn't just spoil the whole movie, even though you kind of know what's going to happen if you read the comics. But since this is not the comics, it's the MCU. They do change things up, and they like to pick and choose what they like. But overall, it was great. The trailers did not spoil anything, which is a good refresher from a lot of movies now. Next, of course, the actors. The actors is all great. Chris Hemsworth back as Thor. Uh, Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston, right? Yeah, Hiddleston. Is back as Loki. We have the new addition of Valkyrie, which she's really awesome. Unfortunately, like I said before, tons of time, I'm not great with names, but she's really cool character. She's really fun. Uh, Kate Blanchett, I believe it is. Yeah, she plays Hela, which is really cool. It's really interesting how they kind of modernized her outfit, which is really pretty sick, and just how badass she is, pretty much. And it's interesting to see where this goes. Hala's always been. They do, of course, it's the MCU, so they do change, a lot of stories, a lot of backstories for a lot of characters, and Hala is, of course, one of them. Kind of like the Valkyries and stuff like that. But there's also Surta, which is interesting how they start off this movie. It's really great. It's pretty much just like the trailers. It pretty much starts off the same way, you know, where Thor's talking to you, and it's pretty funny. Try not to spoil too much, but like I said, if you read the comics, you kind of know what's going to happen. But like I said, they do change up a lot. This one actually has a great boss battle towards the end. It feels very satisfying. The music is great when the trailer music that they shown off. It comes into the movie, and it just really shows off, how much fun they have. Um, Anthony Hopkins is also yeah. Like I said, bad with names. Odin's son is in here, of course, and he has some actually really good scenes. I mean, he always has good scenes, and that's just his veteran style. It's really fun seeing him interact with the characters and the characters interacting as the characters, not just the actors. So we've had these guys in multiple movies now, so they've really grown, and these characters, these superheroes, these are them now. It kind of defines them, and it's really impressive what they do with them. Uh, what else? What else? What else? There's so with this Thor, they combine the story of Ragnarok as well as Planet Hulk, and Jeff Goldblum is in it as the Ringmaster, I believe he's titled as. He's supposed to be one of the Celestials, kind of like the Collector and what's his name? Ego, kind of, but Ego's a little different. But he's supposed to be, this great being, and it's funny because he's, they say he's the first one banished, and this world is a banished world. Sakaar is a banished world, so it's like just the island of misfit toys, pretty much. And he's the leader, which you could kind of see why he was the first to get banished. Um, but that's it. The movie it has a nice start, which is really combined, and then it splinters off to the two stories, which is Asgard and Sakaar. Sakaar has Thor, Hulk, Valkyrie, Loki, the Grandmaster, and then you also have Hala along with Scourge, I believe. Yeah, Scourge is the name. Trying to hunt down Houndel and stuff like that. You know, it's just it works. It blends really well. The transitions are really cool, and it's just fun. I can't say that enough. That's the definition. One word for this movie is fun. And what they do with the Hulk is really great. It's been 2 years since the Ultron uh, incident, the Sokovia incident, and pretty much Banner has been Hulk this whole time. So there's a great scene in the movie about halfway, I believe, with Hulk, and it's really cool. It's it's interesting what they're doing in this movie and what they're leading into. There are two end credit scenes, which there is their mid-roll credit, which is after the fancy credits, and then there's the very end credit scene, which isn't too as important as the mid-roll. The mid-roll credit is pretty much your key mid scene, ending scene, but the last end credit scene is fun, so it's definitely worth it to stick around. But if not, you're fine as long as you see the like I said, the mid credit after the fancy ending credits. That's all that connects really to the Marvel, the MCU. But yeah, man, it's interesting what the choices that they made with certain characters, like Korg and Meek is in it, and just what they did with the whole Planet Hulk Sakaar. They did, of course, it's like I said, the MCU, they adapted. So they did change quite a few things. It's almost like it's Planet Thor and not Planet Hulk. But that's kind of, that's what it is. But overall, you know, it was really great. I saw it in a Dolby Atmos theater at the AMC. It was fun. It looked beautiful. No 3D. I'm not really too big on 3D anymore. And it just sounded great too. The whole soundscape was great, but definitely worth it. Definitely the best Thor movie. Yeah, I would say for sure. But that's probably because it has a lot of the Hulk, and I'm a big Hulk fan. So taking it with a grain of salt in a way, but yeah, it's probably the best Thor movie. So it's gonna be interesting to see what uh, this leads up to, what happens with the Black Panther, which I don't think too much is gonna really happen with the Black Panther as far as combining it, connecting it to the Infinity Wars movie, where this one is a little bit more connected than I could see with Black Panther, because Black Panther is more grounded on Earth, and this was more, celestial space, adventure. And of course, Thanos comes from space, so it's gonna be interesting to see this all come together. I cannot wait for Infinity Wars. I'm definitely getting day one tickets for sure. Buying them in advance. That's what I did with Thor. That's what I'm gonna do with Star Wars. Well, I already have my Star Wars ticket and my Justice League ticket, so I'm ready to go. The funny thing is, I got them both for Dolby Atmos because they are worth it, in my opinion. But the Star Wars one's gonna be a little late in the day, so it is what it is, right? So overall, best Thor movie. Very fun. Very entertaining, great action, very visually pleasing, lots of color, and just overall, just it's a nice change from, like a Captain America movie where they're more serious, from Avengers movie where it's a lot bigger stakes. I mean, yeah, there's a big stakes involved in this movie, but it works out so much more interesting and fun. Fun, of course, fun. That's the definition of this of this review is fun. But 2 weeks from now, I will be watching Justice League, and I'm hoping it is good. That's all I'm hoping for right now. Is just that it's good and that it's not, just I don't know. I'm just hoping they don't mess it up that bad. Thor had high hopes for after seeing the trailers and stuff. Justice League, I mean, after the first trailer seen in the theater, I have pretty good hopes for it, and I hope those come true. But I am not too invested in it at this point. Star Wars, I am super invested in after the last trailers dropped. So that's how it is. But 2 weeks, another movie review, Justice League, and I should have my DC Legion of Collectors Justice League box by then. But until next time, guys, later.